This is my Chunkman account. With a mere chunk in his possession and a dream in his heart, he began his quest to conquer the vast expanse of old-school RuneScape's landmass. He started his journey from humble beginnings in Lumbridge, but with an arsenal of custom tasks, he has faced and overcome countless challenges. His journey has taken him through the trials of total level grinding, epic quests, mysterious clues, and perilous encounters with fearsome bosses, all in order to unlock new chunks of land. Now halfway through the journey, the road ahead may be paved with even greater challenges, but with each obstacle overcome, he moves closer to his goal. So welcome to the second half of Chunkman DDK. Last episode we crossed the 300 chunk mark by searching for the Mire key and then aiding them as well for 2 quest completions, and we also finished up the first 50 kill count for Barrows with a few nice items. Our map expanded with the Tyrus camp, the lobby for Bounty Hunter, and the southeastern chunk of Mauritania. The Barrows chunk is still giving us things to do, so today we will continue just that. Last episode we got 2 items, 2 leg items, so I guess it would be nice if we get some more items by going for the 100 KC for Barrows chests. I'm really hoping for some Arims and some Carols, just so we have some decent upgrades, but for the rest we'll have to see if they are upgrades when we get them. But for now, let's dig in. And let's see which items we are going to get in the next 50 kills. Oh, there we have a new item. The Carol's Coif. That's probably an upgrade. Let's see in the bank what we currently have for headgear. And see if it matters or not. But that was Barrows chest number 58. And that's our 3rd item. The best gear we are actually using as ranged helmet is the snakeskin bandana. That's probably why we are also using the dragon med helmet, because it's defensive wise just much better. But if we compare these, yeah, this is just a straight upgrade. Not that big of an upgrade as we had with the last few pieces, but an upgrade nonetheless. If we would go back to Tombs of a Mascot, I still don't think I would use this, as the Dragon Med Helm gives a lot more defenses for just that slight ranged upgrade. So I think we will be using it when we are doing some ranged training, and that ranged training can't be on Slayer of course, because we will be using the Slayer Helm if we are on a Slayer task. But otherwise, if we're like hunting heart clues from the Hellhounds, we'll probably use this as a helm slot, so it's a nice little upgrade. That's pretty much it. We still have 42 more chests to go, so I'm hoping that we get like at least 45 more items, and hopefully some nice ones as well. Oh, and we get the back-to-back! A Verrex Flail though. The Verrex set is really useful at certain bosses, like KQ for example. We need it for a combat achievement, but we need the full set of course, and I think just the flail itself, I think we're just better off with our whip. It might actually be better on stab or crush, like you see with the attack bonuses here. Let me get out our Dragon Mace, because that's currently our best crush weapon, so maybe that's actually better here, the Verrex Flail. Dragon Mace on, and our Flail is indeed better in attack bonuses, melee strength, even prayer, but it is a tick slower. But I think with all of the bonuses it's still worth it actually. It doesn't have a special bar though, like the... Oh, and it's also two-handed. Oh, okay. Why is this two-handed? You're clearly using it in one hand. So, huh. That's weird. So, might not be that useful. Except for if we use it in the wilderness. I'm not sure what is going to be better, the Dragon Mace or the Verrex Flail, but we can keep it as an option when we go to those bosses. We can test it out. And otherwise it will just be sitting in our bank until we get the full set of Verax. But okay, fourth item. Pretty happy that we actually got one back to back because we were quite dry for a while. But I think it's like 1 in 15 to get a drop. So 4 drops is 60. So we're pretty much back on drop rate now. But alright, let's continue. Still 41 chests to go, of course. Hey, there's the second piece of Darox. And that's actually a pretty good helm as well. Like, we're just wearing the Dragon Med helm now, and it's just defense-wise so much better. And only -1 range. That's actually such a good helm. That was Barrows chest number 70, so the items are really coming in now. And if we go to the collection log for the Barrows chests, that's 2 pieces of Darox. So pretty much 2 items that are in the most useful set here. So we just need the axe and the Darox plate body. And we actually got probably the 2 best pieces first, because the Darox plate legs are amazing new legs for us, and the Darox helm is a very good upgrade to our helm slot as well. So pretty happy with this. If we get a little lucky, we get the other 2 pieces pretty quickly, and then we can have some fun with the set. Holy shit, that's a double chest. We do already have a good chain skirt though. The Thorax plate legs are new, and let's see if they are better than the Darox plate legs we have currently. Darox plate legs on Thorax plate legs exactly the same? Okay, I thought that was going to be a little different, but it's 100% the same. It just weighs more? No, it's just the weight of the thing itself. Okay, kind of weird that there's not much of a gimmick here. I guess the Thorax set is less useful than the Darox set, so I'm probably going to use these if we're going to go to some bosses, and the Darox plate legs only when we do some Darox things? I don't know. But either way, that was chest number 81. Actually, a little bit of a shame that we already got a duplicate Guttons piece. So we're currently at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 items in 81. I'm still hoping for one more before we hit the 100 chests, but I think we're just about on drop rate. If we would open 100 chests, we could get 7 items, so let's see if we can get another one, otherwise we'll see each other at 100 KC. Hey! Another elite clue. We're actually pretty dry on those. That's 2 elite clues in 85, and I think it's like something 1 in 29 or something. So let's see if we can do it. We can, I guess. We should have access to this, even though we haven't done this treasure yet. So let's try it and see if this actually gives us a casket or not. Well, that didn't take long. First step we did, and we get a confused or lost barbarian for mangled bones, and then constructing a ship. But that's pretty much just the chunk we don't have. So this is going to be a drop. And that was kill number 85, so we have 15 more. Hey, there's another elite clue. Let's see if we can do it. Mostly harmless. We do have access to the island now, so step is possible. And that was kill number 91, so we're really nearing the end now. Well, that's quite shitty. We get 1 step again, and then we get the same clue step like we had last time where we had to drop it. So I guess that's the second one we will have to drop here. Hey, there's another item. Another Gutten item actually. That's the second one. So we're getting closer to finishing a very useful set here. But let's take a look with the Darox helm to see if it's actually better than it, or if it's just going to be in the bank until we finish the Guttons set. Darox helm on, and actually the Guttons helm is better, which is something I didn't expect. It's a little bit worse for our magic and our range, but it is quite a bit better for defense. Huh. This is probably then better to use if we're using it as a main helm, like if we need 3 styles. Like, I don't think 3 magic and 1 ranged are that important. I think the defenses are a little bit more useful. Either way, that was skill number 98. I'm not really expecting any more items until 100, so the next clip will probably be the 100k C task completion. But let's see. You never know if we get another item, but I'm already fairly happy with everything we've gotten. Just a little cherry on the pie. Just before we get our 100 chest opened, we got another level. Our magic went up to 84. And then on to the chest. Let's see if we can get something for our 100 chest. Just some runes, which is perfectly fine. But that's the 100 Barrows chests completed. Looking at the loot we've gotten quite a few death runes, but we pretty much wasted them all into doing some more Barrows. I think we started at like 1000 death runes and we're now like at 2600, so we did make a profit, but not that much. We definitely profited on mind runes, chaos runes and blood runes, which is always a good thing, of course, for later on. We got 3 elite clues in total, none of which we have been able to complete. And then, except for the Darrock's plate legs and Gutten's chain skirt we already had, we got another 6 items, of which one was a dupe Gutten's chain skirt. So, looking at the collection log, we did not get any body, which would have been nice if we got like a Carol's or a Adam's rope top. Like, if we would get something over here, that would be the most helpful now. And otherwise, like, we're 2 pieces off completing the Darrock set, which is amazing. Same with the Gutten set. We pretty much upgraded our leg slot now for melee armor, and the same thing for our helm slot. So 2 very nice upgrades together with the Carol's coif for our ranged upgrade. First of all, let's just complete our task on our spreadsheet, see which chunk we get, and then we'll decide if we continue with some Barrows chests or if we are going to do something else. Our 41st boss task we have completed. We have completed 100 Barrows chests. Our next task is 250, which might be a little on the high end, but let's first of all complete this one. So like I mentioned, that was the 41st boss task, and our 303rd chunk, landmass chunk, unlocked in total now. And then back to our map. The last chunk we unlocked was a very small part to the east of the Icene Graveyard. Nothing really special, but it does make that we only have 1 chunk left to unlock the entire Mauritania region. Not that it would help all that much, but let's see which is going to be the next chunk. Let's pick a chunk. Not what we want. Another part of Fossil Island. There are some crabs here, but that's pretty much the only thing that is here, I guess. So as long as we don't unlock Fossil Island with the woodcutting guild here, because we need that for Bon Voyage, that's just some kind of dead chunk until we like reach Saya. So everything pretty much in this area is very unfortunate if we roll it, but okay. I was thinking about what we could do for our next chunk unlock, and I wasn't really sure what to do. Like Barrows, there's 150 more KC we would have to do, and we pretty much do like 1 KC every 20 minutes because of the minigame timer. If we would do that, it would take us 50 hours to actually get to 150 KC. We need to get to 250. So while I do want the items, I don't really want to spend 50 hours to get 1 chunk. On the other hand, we still have a quest left after the Myarchy events and that Darkness of Hallowvale, but the boss there is quite difficult, and I'm not really sure if we will be able to defeat him with the stats we currently have, and the gear of course. But I think I'm gonna try anyway, see if it works or not, and if it doesn't work, yeah, then we'll have to leave the last fight until we get a little stronger. But let's gear up, let's get all the items we need, and then let's go back to the Myarchy hideout in Burg de Rod. After searching for the Myarchy movement, then getting them in some trouble, having then to aid them into finding a new resting space, a new hideout, let's see if we can help Veliav and the other guys of the Myarchy with whatever they need. Now that they are quite secure within this location with their new hideout, it is time to actually get back to the vampire slaying, or seeing what the vampires are up to actually. Even with the Rod of Evandis we found last time, they aren't able to kill some of the higher vampires or even damage them. There are two things Veliav wants, and one thing is that he wants to go to Mistalin and ask for help, because they cannot do this alone. And on the other hand, he wants us to go to the Sanguinesti region and make contact with the Myarchy branch over there. The Sanguinesti region is pretty much the Darkmire and Mire Ditch part, where the Mire Ditch part is where the most tithing is going on. So you can see all of the houses are very packed upon each other. So all of the people living there are pretty much cattle for their blood. And then Darkmire is where the vampires, the noble vampires live, including their leader. There's also a very large wall surrounding the entire thing, so it isn't that easy to get in, but there is a part of sea here, so let's see in Burg de Rod if we can find someone who is willing to give us a boat or make a boat so that we can cross over by sea. Good thing for us is that among the rubble we have already fixed up, we can find a boat, and there seems to be like some kind of dock here as well. So we might as well fix up this boat and use it ourselves. It's a little bit broken though, so we will have to fix the boat with some planks and some nails before it is shipworthy. That's the boat fixed, but the chute here to get it into the water is also broken, so we will have to fix that as well. There we go. And now to push the boat back into the water so we can actually use it. That was easily done. Now let's board the boat and let's get under the wall by sea. And then let's see if we can find a path to the Myarchy over here. One of the problems here is that these Firewatch here are the ones that Veliav was warning us about, that they could not damage them. So there's not really that many options than giving them the blood tide or try to sneak away, but that's kind of dangerous. Or we could fight them, but yeah, we'll lose pretty much. So let's just give them a blood tide. Now we are on the wall now, but we need to get into the region, and there are some planks here that seem to be a little loose. So we can kick them down, so we can get down, because we need to get to the ground floor to ask some of the people in the region where the Myarchy are actually holed up. Let's climb over this broken piece of wall and let's ask some of the villagers here if they can help us. Because the Firewatch are actually watching us, the people here on the streets, they don't really want to talk about the Myarchy, as that is not a good idea. They mentioned Old Man Ral is someone that we should go talk to. He should give us more information. After sweet talking Old Man Ral here, he gave up the route to the Myarchy hideout here. And we just need to follow the signs. So like you can see here, the sickle logo is the logo showing the way to the Myarchy hideout here. So let's follow all of those logos onto Sector 3 where they are, and we are currently at Sector 1, so this is going to be a long walk. And then after a very long walk, we find this decorated wall here with the sickle on it, which is the logo of the Marquis. So there should be something here. And it opened some kind of hatch here. Yes, a trapdoor. And there we go. The Sanguinesti Marquis hideout. There only seems to be one person here, so let's talk to Vertida here. Short conversation later, we got a message that we made contact with them and we should give that to Veliav. So let's just do that. Let's get back to Morton with the teleport, as I don't really want to go back the way we came. After seeing the message, Veliav is quite happy that they are still alive, although they are struggling, and he gave us a next assignment, and that's to go to the Paterdomus, talk to Dressel, as there is something strange going on there. And then afterwards go to King Rold in Varrock to see if they can get some help from the Varrock city. After talking to Dressel, he mentions that he has heard a lot of strange noises together with Ivan, but he couldn't find out where they were coming from. They have looked all over the temple here, but there wasn't really a thing they could see. They have heard of people going missing from the limestone mine, some workers, so let's investigate to see what's going on here. We found a strange bush and someone was laying unconscious below it. Somebody knocked us out and took the body. Well, there's definitely something strange going on here. After telling Dressel that we suspect that there are werewolves crossing the river Salve and kidnapping people, he mentioned that this is a very big deal because they should not be able to cross the river because of its magic properties to keep everything inside the Mauritania region. So we really need to get to King Rold and tell him of the situation. King Rold was actually really keen on helping us, but his advisor here was really pushing our buttons by saying that it would upset the balance between Saradomin, which is the Misthalin region, and the Zamorak region of Mauritania. If that would come to war, the Gutixian balance would be broken and another god war could break out. So instead of amassing an army for us to help the people of the Marquis and all of the people in Mauritania, they are going to check the edicts, the Gutixian edicts, to see if all of this story is true or not. But that will take time to actually go through the text and such, so their hands are a bit bound until that has cleared up. What King Rold did do is he gave all of the mercenaries here in Misthalin the go-ahead that they can defend our country, or the Misthalin country, from any danger. Normally, if you group up and make a dangerous group of mercenaries, the army would swoop in and make sure that they do not do anything nefarious. But with this solution, this is now allowed and they will be able to help us by protecting the Misthalin side of the river Salve. So a little bit of bad news, a little bit of good news, and I guess it's time to go back to Veliav to tell him all of the news. Well, now we're actually playing Messenger. We gave Veliav the information and he says we should inform the Sanguinesti region of the Marquis. So I guess we're going for a run again. Talking to Vertida, she mentioned last time that she isn't the leader, but Safalan is. And with that bad news about the werewolves probably taking people from Misthalin to the vampires, it's something he really should know. But he's on a sketching mission where he is sketching the Drakan castle from the top of the wall. So Vertida really wants us to go with him to the wall so we can meet Safalan over there instead of waiting until Safalan gets back. Quite a long walk later, we have reached the wall of the castle. So a little bit further on, we should find Safalan. There he is. Safalan mentions that the werewolves working for the vampire and being able to cross the river south is a very big problem. So he wants to return and he wants us to finish his job instead. So we need to make some sketches of the castle from all of the sides. So let's start on the north end. North side completed. West side completed. Look at that. Vanstrom Klaus, our nemesis, is back. And we can see him talking with Venescula Dracan, which seems to be like some relative of Lowerniel Dracan, which is the leader of all of the vampires. And the other person he is talking to is Ranes Dracan. So it seems like Vanstrom is a very high player, as he is talking to the leaders of all of the vampires. Moving on, we have one side left, and that's the south side of the castle. So let's make a drawing of this side as well. We did get spotted by Vanstrom though. This is not good, as he is attacking us. We're not really doing any damage, as he seems to have some protection. Ooh, and then he uppercuts us. We seem to have been knocked unconscious by Vanstrom and someone. Yeah, it's difficult to know if this is a vampire or not, but she says that Venescula, the vampire we have just seen just a little bit before, is requesting that we are being questioned instead of killed. Vanstrom calls Tharius here a food sack, so she seems to be human. But Vanstrom actually went away because of this. Tharius says she has an interest in Safalan, and that's why she saved our life. And to deliver a message to him. The message that was given to us to give to Safalan was a little bit cryptic, and it was secreted behind tiles where smoke is carried away, which sounds like a fireplace. And then from the depiction of statuesque beauty, and we find a place where we can find a portrait here of a female vampire holding a key. So that's probably the depiction of beauty. And let's have a look at this fireplace to see if there's something special here. And we find a message hidden within it. After reading the message by Maurice Guy, he mentions that he was hired by the vampires to do something in a laboratory that was actually meant to make sure that all of the people here produced more blood, so all of the vampires would have an easier way to get their blood. But the laboratory was shut down at a very fast instance, and he does not know why, but all of his colleagues disappeared and he went into hiding and left this message for people to find here. So whatever happened there can be examined, because the vampires seemed very afraid of what happened in that laboratory. So seems like a very interesting thing to give to the Meyer key, and it might be a very good weapon to actually get an upper hand on the vampires, as he also mentions where that laboratory was here in Meyerditch. What is also in the message is he mentions that he has a means to access that place again, hidden in depictions of statuesque evil. So it looks like he still has a key and he hid that key somewhere. We checked out this portrait and it looks like it has a key in its hand. So it looks quite logical that it's somewhere hidden in this portrait. And yes, there we go. A large ornate key. Now we pretty much have everything to get into the laboratory. But first of all, let's give all of the information to Safalan at the Meyerkey hideout. Giving the sketches back to Safalan, he did indeed say that we should have a look at where that laboratory is to find out what the secret is there. After a bit of looking around where the place could be, the laboratory, it should be this one, but there's some tapestry we can cut through. And then we see the same statue which was depicted in the picture. So we can put the ornate key here So it looks perfectly like the portrait. And then if we open the door here, we can find the staircase to the laboratory. Now let's have a look around. There's a lot of stuff here. The most interesting part here seems to be the Heim Alchemy Volume 1, a book. But we can't make anything out of it as it's a bit too complex for us. For the rest, there isn't really anything we can investigate. The door here can't be opened as it is damaged. So I guess we will go with this volume or this book to Safalan. Safalan checked out the book. He doesn't really understand everything, but it seems to depict the weaknesses of the vampire. So that should be very useful if we can decipher it entirely. He thanked us for our work, and now the only thing we need to do is go back to Veliav and give him the good news that we found an interesting book and all of the events that happened here with Vaneskila, Vanstrom, and so on. Delivering the letter to Veliav brings about the end of the Darkness of Hallowvale. The difficult fight I was thinking of was not actually in this quest, but it's probably in the next one. So I'm pretty happy that we didn't have to do that yet. But we got 2 quest points for completing the Darkness of Hallowvale. We got 7k agility experience, 6k thieving experience, 2k construction experience, and a tome of experience for our trouble. We didn't get any levels from that experience, so let's see what we can get from the tome of experience. Oh, we can actually put it anywhere we want. So it's probably going to be Herblore, as I want to get to 81 so we can make our own Cerebrus. So 1 confirmed for Herblore, that's 2k experience. And it seems like we can read it 2 more times, so that's going to be 2k more, and the last 2k for 6k Herblore experience in total, which is a nice jumpstart onto the next level. The story of the humans versus the vampires is getting more interesting with every quest. But for now, we have completed the Darkness of Hallowvale quest, which means we have completed another task. And another task means another chunk. So let's go back to our spreadsheet, complete it over there, and let's see what is going to be the newest addition to our chunk map. Another quest down. The Darkness of Hallowvale has been completed. That was our 99th quest, almost at triple digits here, and that unlocked our 304th landmass chunk. And then back to our map. The last chunk we unlocked was a part of Fossil Island to the south of the island, and we now have a possibility to unlock another piece of island, which would be a very bad chunk to unlock. Hopefully we don't actually get a chunk over here. I would want something useful, and pretty much everything useful is in the Kandrin region here. So let's see which chunk we are going to get, as the chunk picker still decides for us. Let's pick a chunk. Oh. It is in the Kandrin... Oh, no. It's actually in the Terenwen region. But Letia is interesting, as we will need it if we do the quest line for Terenwen, for unlocking Terenwen, but for that we still need this chunk here right below the fishing guild to actually be able to start the series of quests here. In general, it's useful because it's a city and a quest hub pretty much, but as we can't really get there, it does not really do much for us at the moment. And with that fairly long quest, we're at the end of the episode. We're steadily upgrading our gear with the Barrows items, so we're getting closer to be able to do some more difficult content as well. We still have a lot of options for our next chunks, so I'm pretty happy with the state of the account. Anyways, have a good one and see you all next time.